All right. Man, that resolution is balls. Well, look at us. I'll look at our phones. All right. Out of the way, cat. All right. Hello, everyone.
All right.
Going to be working on this second Dirty Harry Callahan today. So I'm going to get little spirits cleaned out and some other things prepped up while people, give people time to show up. See if we can get 30 people from around the world.
We have high expectations.
I do.
Dirty Harry.
What do you want, Baba Cat? Side eye.
So, how long did you spend on this yesterday? Like an hour and a half?
About an hour, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, I think was it. I just worked on during the live stream, and I think the live stream was about an hour and 15 minutes long.
Did you tag?
Okay, no, I would drink this for you. It'll tang all right. Just getting my mediums and solvents and stuff set up.
That's pretty cool. Flagging it.
Are you looking at the page so you can see?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Dirty Harry. We get to see the Magnum painted today, maybe? Huh?
I'm not going to get to that till I solve his face. His face looks like does not look right. It looks kind of like a dumb version of their Mongol or Harry or something. I don't know what's going on. I wonder if that air conditioner's going to blow a noise in the background.
I feel like I should watch the movie right here, right now, while you're painting.
By the way, Bobcat, listen to this air conditioner off so there's some noise. Boy.
Bobcat wants to be on TV. I want to be on TV.
Bobcat doesn't know what he wants.
Yeah, he does. He needs food and sleep. Net.
He gets all of that whenever he wants, that jerk. He's pretty wanty. As are most cats. Alright, well. I think I'm just going to start off with put some liquid on this green medium. Also, this excess brush strokes. I think that's kind of the problem. I got to a point yesterday where just the paint was too wet and I was pushing it around and it was happening. It was dry a bit now, so it should be easy working too. Alright. Oh, yeah, I wanted to set a timer for my other camera. So when that goes off, I can push this button again. Okay.
You got it.
Alright. I think muted some of the video from last time I was streaming because I had the regular Pandora station on.
Yeah.
I haven't got to listen to it, but if it's got like somebody else's music in the background, they'll just cut the audio out of your recorded live feed. And I don't know how many people are going to be watching recorded videos with music on, so has something in the background that says dead air. As much as I like to listen to myself talk.
Or me talk.
Like I said.
Still mad about the box.
Not the box. Yeah.
Sup, Grind Spring, Texas. What's up in Spring, Texas?
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
Welcome to Happy Hour.
Dirty Harry.
These sort of paintings are fun. They're just like, like a character trying to capture this sort of posturing attitude in a simple gesture.
Yeah.
I think as far as like his body posture, his character, that's pretty much there. It's like now it's just a matter of sort of dialing it in. The approach is a little bit different than I have in the last two paintings, where instead of like doing wiping out, I just painted a lighter color into the darker wash in the background, and it kind of just blended. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun, actually. Hold on, I gotta get something real quick.
So while Gabe is painting, I'll be doing research, checking in on social media, and hanging out with Gabe.
Sure. Yeah, anybody has questions, throw them at us. I have, Dave here will be able to read it to me and like respond to anything like technical stuff you want to know. Or just sit back in silence and watch me screw this up.
We'll let you know if you're screwing up, Gabe.
Thanks, Dave.
What's up, Benito? What's up, Zane? Zane says, make my day. Yeah. Well, it's happy hour, guys. Grab a drink.
Or a bong rip. Makes my day. That was a good.
What's up, Michelle? Michelle Hunley. From England.
Yo, yo.
So I saw your work like 10 years ago. And I've followed it ever since. I went to Key West 2 years ago. I spent a lot of time at the gallery there.
Oh, yeah, Millionaire Gallery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day we will have one of your pieces. Hashtag life goals.
Well, we could make that happen. Yeah, Millionaire had a couple of problems. Like, well, they after the Hurricane Irma went through, they suffered from that, and they had a couple of locations. They had to close one of them down. But we have been in talks with them about maybe getting some more work over to them pretty soon. So
Yeah, we got some galleries in the UK, right?
I got one that I'm working with there, but a lot of what I was doing there is kind of wound down as I've been kind of overwhelmed with a lot of things that are going on in the U.S. It's hard to get yourself stretched too thin and make everybody happy. So I'm focusing on what's going on here in the U.S. mostly.
So you don't want to make the UK applicant? You're trying to start an international incident?
Way to screw things up, Dave. Way to make me look bad. You're fired.
Actually, I think you got quite a few fans in the UK.
I do. We do sell to the UK, but I end up usually going through the US galleries. I have a couple of galleries here in the US that handle most of the inquiries and sales over the UK, shipping and all that stuff. Logistics of selling UK can be kind of difficult. Alright, I need to step back from this. I'm already starting off with details and screw myself up. Alright, let me think here.
Let's see.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, Benito, those are oils.
Oil, yeah, oil paintings on canvas. Glasses here.
Marcel, you should come to LA.
Let me get some music on here a little bit. Just a little bit of background music.
Coast. And we would like to take a trip out to the UK. That would be pretty awesome if we could get there.
So I have a gallery called Antidote Gallery that's selling there.
That's Antidote Gallery.
Antidote Gallery. You want to talk to Sarah? I love it. We can send us a DM and we can send you a link to hers and her gallery.
There you go. There you go, Michelle.
It's going to take me a little while to kind of get to everything here, so I'm just going to start working on stuff.
Jake, what's up? Dirty Harry's on AMC right now? That's crazy.
Is an AMC the Dirty Harry channel?
Yeah, I guess so.
So what would be the Hallmark channel for Dirty Harry at the AMC?
That's awesome. So Jake wants to know what's the biggest painting you've ever done.
The biggest ones recently have been 36 by 72 inches. It's like 3 foot by 6 foot. The painting I did of the train at Shady here is most recently the largest one. The Buffalo Soldiers, which I just posted a picture of earlier today, is another one.
Do you remember your black Buffalo Soldiers?
Yeah, Wayne. I think Wayne up in Alaska about it. Well, he's a U.S. guy, but he works in the UK and he has an Alaskan fishing lodge up in Alaska. So I'll be going up there later this year to visit him. It should be a lot of fun. I need a vacation. Thinking about doing more big paintings. There's a couple of downsides to doing the larger paintings. One is just logistics. It's hard to move around, and especially if you gotta ship it somewhere, it's just really expensive and really it's hard to ship because you don't want to damage them. So I don't often do really big paintings for that reason. They can just take up a lot of room. They don't, and plus they're a lot more expensive and they don't sell as quickly. So I generally would do bigger paintings with commissions. So I'm thinking about scrapping that anyways and just, doing a few. Do the larger. They are fun. Like we did a lot more good stuff. So cameras. You take a lot more time to work on that. It feels like it's going nowhere forever on these cameras. I like immediate results. Often as I can get it. I think if I do something drastic here. I have an overall shift.
Kind of know exactly you wanted to go to, or did you have to really?
Watch the movie. There's there's a lot of cool scenes in there. This one kind of stood out to me as far as that. So then, yeah, just like see here.
How's the Kickstarter project going, Gabe?
It's going pretty good. We're down to the last week. We've got 4 to 5 books funded. We're a couple grand away from the final one. So yeah, thanks for bringing it up. You can go to the Kickstarter and pledge there to support the books. We've opened up some new tiers for it, for bump pledges, and we opened up a big tier for somebody who might be interested in posing for a painting, which they would then get to be included in one of the books. So that's one of the final big rewards that's there for those who would be interested in something like that. That would entail coming out to LA, hanging out, posing, and doing the wardrobe and all that stuff, and get set up. You see the whole process and be part of it. Kind of fun. And then on top of it, you'd be in the painting and in the book, and you'd interview all your friends, and so on and so forth. But there's a few other things that are out there. There's some canvas prints from festivals. Some of the really popular ones have to get down there. Some of the other stuff. And the Outlaws book that is available as we work on the Kickstarter as well. Some things that are only available through the Kickstarter. I did a Shoot the Messenger print from the Desperado series, and up until now it's only been available as canvas print. I opened that up to a paper print for Kickstarter.
Yeah, face is coming together.
What's that?
Face is coming together.
Starting to work. We might be having problems with that streaming and streaming the music too. Let me set this up through here. Let's make it a grunge happy hour. How's that sound? Grunge.
the soothing light at the end of your tunnel. Just a freight train coming away. Then it comes to me, I got the soothing light at the end of your tunnel. It's just a freight train coming away.
Oh, see, we can see Papa Cat, which is the important part.
Oh yeah, there you go. Batman.
It's coming your way. It's coming your
Okay, so like I'm almost 43. I can't imagine another 43 years. Like, really? Almost had enough. Because of this nonsense for like another 40 years.
Well, I mean, he did what he loved, man. That's an important factor here. So, he's a junior, it looks like, because there was Clint Eastwood Sr. He was nicknamed Samson by the hospital nurses because he weighed 11 pounds 6 ounces at birth.
So he was ahead of us from the very beginning.
Yeah, we had no chance. Yeah.
It was like he came out like he was like a toddler.
Yeah.
he had a 44 Magnum in his hand.
Yeah, exactly. He was actually 8 pounds, but the Magnum was 2 pounds 6 ounces, or 3 pounds 6 ounces. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, now when I look at that painting from a distance.
Oh, hey, hey.
You go see that.
Keep knocking my camera, man.
David, I'm gonna blame you for putting it there.
See that beautiful face?
Yeah, not now. I don't. I gotta like redo this whole thing. See if that works. That's gonna be too far. Too far. There you go. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that works.
All right.
Papa Cat's holding it down.
Papa Cat.
Yeah, now that looks like Clint Eastwood. I look at it like, bam. I mean, there's some little tweaking to do on it, but
Yeah. Looking good.
so that's part of like painting is like you just keep reworking it until it looks right.
All right. So, Papa Cat's purring. Purring cat.
Yeah, he was retired. The cat used to live out in the outside. He was the enforcer around the house. Kept all the other worms away.
So that's probably how he got his injured ear.
Yeah, and feline age and everything else. He was in fights a lot. But he was like the most. I think he was just trying to make friends, and all the other cats just fought instead. He's a super friendly cat. He's not like super aggressive. He doesn't go after Khaleesi's cat really. She goes after him. She's half his size. He don't care. Like at first, when Khaleesi first moved in, we kept them separated, and then he would just like go after her like 100 miles. He would like there's a glass door that she would keep him behind, and he would just bang or hiss him and growl. And after a while, he didn't care anymore. But she still hisses at him, chases him around, tries to eat all his food.
Revenge.
Yeah, she's
So,
she's like 8 pounds. He's like 16 pounds. He's like 2 of her. She don't care though. She's like super aggro and aggressive.
so that's how you really feel.
Just tell you how it is, Dave.
Okay, so back to Clint's life story. He's English,
My cat
Irish,
story wasn't
Scottish.
good enough for you?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Not at all. He's of English, Irish, Scottish, and Dutch ancestry, so he's American. He descended from the Mayflower, from William Bradford. And through this line of the 12th generation of his family born in North America. Wow. So after
We don't have to go
12
back.
generations of
We don't have to go back
peasantry,
to the Mayflower.
I know, after 12 generations of peasantry, one of the Eastwoods finally made it.
One of the Eastwoods finally made it. The end.
So he grew up pretty well. His dad traveled around a lot, but then they settled into Piedmont, California. They were part of the country club. He had a pool in his yard.
So he didn't grow up in a trailer park?
Wow, it was awesome. He was asked to leave his high school for writing an obscene suggestion to an alcohol official, or to a school official on the athletic field school board, and for burying someone's effigy on the school lawn.
He burned an effigy in the school lawn?
It says burying, but he had other school infractions. So he was kind of a punk.
Troublemaker.
Went to Oakland. Graduated in 1949.
He graduated high school before my dad was born.
There you go. Yeah, mine too. My dad was born in 1950.
All right, so I might move on to be a.
So after he basically almost, maybe not, didn't make it through high school. There's some discrepancy there.
So you may not even graduate high
He
school.
may not have even graduated high school.
Clint, we really need to get you on the show to clear all this up. So.
GED. Get your GED. What? Get you on the show. We'll take your GED. We'll get you back on track for your life, buddy. I hear your movie.
I mean, Mr. Eastwood. Sir.
He was a lifeguard, paper carrier, grocery clerk, forest firefighter, hey, and a golf caddy. Love it.
I should do a new series of golf caddy
In
games.
1951, he tried to enroll in Seattle University, but instead was drafted into the United States Army during the Korean War. He dropped.
He dropped what? Man, none of my music wants to work with it today. It just keeps shutting itself off. So no thanks.
So he joined the military during the Korean War, but he was a lifeguard at Fort Ord in Northern California for his entire stint in the military. I mean, if they would have told me that they would have paid me to be a lifeguard for 4 years and I could, the military, I might have thought about that.
Oh yeah, my friend Paul was
During a war, too.
my friend Paul was drafted into Vietnam, and he ended up being on a fort over Vietnam where he wasn't in frontline combat, but he met a guy in the plane over there, and then was on the when he was coming back to the U.S. after his tour, met the same guy, and that guy got the same gig, got to be a lifeguard at the beach, and the whole tour he was there as a lifeguard. It's like, man, I got lucky.
One guy gets stuck in the cold Korean War. The other guy gets to be a lifeguard.
Someone's got to be a lifeguard.
It says here that Clint Eastwood would drop the whole Korean War reference, hoping that everyone would conclude that he was a combat hero. But he actually was a lifeguard.
Who wrote this?
I don't know. This is not good. You need to clear this up, Clint.
No, Clint, the person who wrote it needs to clear it up.
Yeah.
But, you know, people do that. They mislead about things.
They do mislead this stuff. So, yeah, I don't know why that this reference would have been negative towards Clint there.
Unless it's just something well known about him that we don't know. I don't know. There we go. I got the Eastwood scowl on there. That's pretty good.
Okay.
He was in
an airplane crash. Yeah, he's not here, Brad. He was in an airplane crash.
Something tells me if we asked him about this,
Douglas 80 bomber that ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean near Point Reyes. Using a life raft, he and the pilot swam 2 miles. Okay, did he have a life raft or did he swim 2 miles? This guy's, come on, dude. This guy. According to CBS press release, so the early 1950s. So he was born in 1930. So in the early 1950s, the Universal International Company was shooting Rawhide, and they were shooting in Fort Ord when an enterprising assistant spotted Eastwood and invited him to meet the director. According to Eastwood official biography, the key figure was a man named Chuck Hill, who was stationed in Fort Ord and had contacts in Hollywood. While in Los Angeles, Hill became reacquainted with Eastwood and managed to sneak Eastwood into a Universal studio where he introduced him to cameraman Irving Glassberg. Glassberg arranged for an audition under author Lubin, who, although very impressed with Eastwood's appearance and stature, then he was 6'4".
Clint Eastwood's 6'4"?
Yeah, he's a big dude. Disapproved initially of his acting skills, remarking he was quite amateurish. He didn't know which way to turn or which way to go or do anything.
Give a guy a chance.
Lubin suggested, that he attended drama classes and arranged for Eastwood's initial contract in April 1954 at $100 per week. After signing, Eastwood was initially criticized for his stiff manner and delivering his lines through his teeth. Come on! A lifelong trademark.
Criticized for your trademark.
Exactly. Well, you know what?
I mean, that's a good advice. If it's something you're getting criticized for, own it.
I know.
That's what you
I
do.
mean, if you would have seen John Wayne walk without knowing that he was John Wayne or before he...
It's like people criticizing me for
his little...
my big cans in my
his
can.
saunter. The big what, you mean?
You heard me.
So in 1954, Eastwood made his first real audition for Six Bridges to Cross, but was rejected. After many unsuccessful auditions, he was eventually given a minor role by director Jack Arnold in Revenge of the Creature, 1955.
Revenge of the Creature? Yeah,
it's the sequel to The Creature from the Black Lagoon. I think we're having a movie night. In September 1954, we'll have to go to Cinephile. Hey, everybody, there's a plug for Cinephile. Santa Monica Boulevard.
No, I don't think I've been to this.
Oh man, we gotta go. It's a great spot. The staff in there is very helpful. Lovely people. They help you find almost any movie you could ever want. And so Eastwood worked for 3 weeks on Arthur Lubin's Lady Godiva of Coventry. Won a role in February 1955 for playing Jonesy, a sailor in Francis in the Navy. Ah! Boy, look at that. Francis in the Navy. In the Navy. And appeared uncredited in another Jack Arnold film, Tarantula, where he played a squadron pilot. Eastwood put 4 hours of work into Never Say Goodbye and had a minor unaccredited role as a ranch hand in his first Western in 1955 with Lawman, also known as Star in the Dust. Universal presented him with his first television role on July 2nd, 1955. So this is all happening, it looks like,
So he had a lot of failure.
he was like, well, yeah. I
He
mean,
just didn't like show
although
up.
he did get, brought over.
Sounds like he found a couple people that really saw something and believed in what he was doing.
Yeah, some people saw him and saw his.
You think it was?
But
it was his look more than his anything else?
I mean, he was working. He got there in 1954, and by the end of 1954, he had done TV shows, movies.
So what? Is there any information about why he decided he wanted to be an actor? Like, what was it that?
It doesn't say anything on there. I'd have to look into his biography here.
Clint Eastwood, the untold story.
Yeah. So he did have quite a bit of stuff, people shooting him down. He joined a company called the Mars Agency. He had a role as the first traveling sales lady and later hired him for Escapade in Japan. Without a formal contract, Eastwood was struggling. Upon the advice of Irving Leonard, his financial advisor, he's changed talent agencies to Human Olympic Agency in 1956 and Mitchell Roots in 1957. He landed several small roles in 1956 as a temperamental army officer for a segment on ABC's Reader's Digest series and as a motorcycle gang member of Highway Patrol. So in 1957, Eastwood played a cadet in West Point series who's a gold prospector on Death Valley days. So these are all like the era of all those. This is the era of westerns and war movies.
Yeah, I wonder, like,
He was playing a pilot. He was playing a Navy guy.
he has that military sort of face, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He had that all-American look, but he was also very tall.
Does that really matter on movies? Because or is it just the proportions of a long, lanky person work well, like on camera or something?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. In 1958, Eastwood was cast as Rowdy Yates on CBS Law on the series Rawhide. It was a breakthrough in his career. So 1950.
Right.
Bartender, cut off Gabe. So this was both the lowest point of his career, and then he gets Rawhide.
So just when things were looking like
Things were looking bad. So at this point, Eastwood's almost 30 years old, and Rowdy was too young and too cloddish for Eastwood to feel comfortable with the part. So I never won an Emmy, but it would reach like 6 in the ratings. And Rawhide years are 1959 to 1965. They were the most grueling of Eastwood's career. I don't know about that. Filming 6 days
like I
a
said,
week,
we'll have to
12
get
hours a
Clint
day.
here in person so we can find out that.
I'm sure there's other grueling
Tune in
movies
next
we
week.
had. Tune in next week.
When Clint Eastwood can do it, clear up the air.
I know.
It's on you, Mr. Eastwood.
I'm working with an orangutan every day and gets punched in the face. How about that for grueling days?
Is that what happened to him?
That's what he did.
He got punched in the face? Like orangutans?
He didn't get punched in the face by an orangutan, but he worked with an orangutan.
Are those two separate things?
Yeah.
Like he got punched in the face and worked with orangutans?
Yeah, those are two separate.
So working with
things.
orangutans is its own thing. It's just horrifying.
That's terrifying in and of itself. I don't know. It might have been fun. Clyde, the orangutan. I think his name is Clyde.
I wonder how much they paid that orangutan. Probably more than we get paid.
Yeah. Even from back then, I bet you that orangutan in 1970 whatever got paid more than I'm getting paid.
He got paid more than the extras. He's a SAG orangutan. They're giving him SAG vouchers. And I remember a number of years ago, I rented my art out on a set for Angel. There's you remember that TV show Angel? So it's been off of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and stuff. Okay. And it was like an outdoor street scene, and like there was vendors and stuff, and they went to my artwork and display, like an art vendor, artist. And anyways, while I was there, I got they rented my art, plus I got paid to be an extra, even though I wasn't really doing anything. And the assistant director or whoever it was handing out the vouchers for payment. They had a couple that they hand out with SAG vouchers for people who were trying to get their SAG card. They get like 3 of them so you can apply to the union. And they gave me one. And I think they did it just to piss off the other actors because they were really desperately trying to get one. They really was like, I'm not going to use it.
I remember when I first moved here, I met a few actors that were trying to do that, and they had been doing it for like, I don't know, over a year. One of them was doing it over a year, and he only had one voucher. And he'd been doing this like 6 days a week.
Yeah. It's grueling and unforgiving too. Like, so not only is it difficult, but then people make it more difficult for you. Like, here's that carrot you want. I'm gonna give it to somebody who doesn't eat it.
All right, this to be continued here on the Clint Eastwood life story from a not a good writer here on Wikipedia, I must say.
Well, is it poorly written, or you just don't like what he's saying?
No, I like the information is there. He's just not very compelling,
And the way he's telling
and he's way and he seems a little. He's
it. Like he has an
it's
axe to
negative.
grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because he's writing Wikipedia pages. Instead of having them written about him.
Yep.
What happened to our music? No.
Alrighty, I get to go meet Werner Herzog.
You do?
Yeah, I'll go to the screening panel. Yeah.
Who's up there today?
Yeah. I'd invite you, but you're not invited.
Would be the first time.
Yeah, I know.
But some time
They were drew one ticket and you can't go, so. Let's see.
Charlie got pregnant,
Clint Eastwood history.
living on 9th Street.
So he was already trying to direct.
Above a
Back
dirty
then,
bookstore
direct, and I let him direct some
of Euclid
trailers and
and
stuff for the show.
stop taking dope. Quit drinking
So
whiskey.
the first season, he got $750 an episode at
My
the
old
High School
man
Foundation and received
is
$119,000
Works
an
out
episode as severance
track.
pay.
How much?
$119,000 an episode.
Says that he loves me,
Man,
though it's not his baby.
this is 19. So by its end, so 1960.
Says that he raised him up like he was on some.
It went till 1965.
Give me a ring. There was one by his
35
mother.
years old when it ends.
Alright, so he's already
He's already
dancing.
Screw him. I don't like him anymore.
It was Saturday
Guess you
night.
don't see by the time you're 30, you're screwed.
Isn't that the case? Jack.
Charlie, I think about you.
So was Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, but because there's exceptions to the rule, does not dispute the rule.
Count all the
How
grief
many Morgan Freemans are there?
you swear in your
There was a
head.
guy named Eric Fleming.
Still out that record.
And
Little Anthony and it
he was on
pillow.
Rawhide. And he
Someone stole my
rejected
record
the offer to
player.
start an Italian-made Western called A
How
Fist
do
of
you
the Gun.
like
Here we go,
that?
baby. 1960s. So
So he rejected the fistful of hours.
he rejected
Charlie
the
almost went
and,
crazy.
in a remote region of Spain, of course,
Mario got
Italian
busted.
spaghetti westerns were not shot in Italy.
Went back to Omaha.
They were shot in Spain.
Here with my folks.
Relatively unknown
so
Sergio Leone.
why do people?
Everyone I used to know.
Because they say they're spaghetti westerns.
Oh, because of the word spaghetti?
Well, no, because
Prison.
Leone was Italian.
Came back to
Um,
Minneapolis.
They were doing
Stop.
spin-off
Think I'm gonna stay.
military movies
Yeah.
that really had very
Charlie, I think I'm happy.
in reality.
First
They're
I
kind
said
of
my
funny
act.
to watch now. Even back then.
Wish I had all the money
They were like C
you
movies.
used to spend
But Sergio
on.
Leone came out, and of course he was.
Buy me a used car lot. I wouldn't sell it. Just drive a different car. Depending on
Where it was like, yeah, it was like Sergio Leone's like understanding of what westerns were.
Charlie,
Yeah.
for God's sake,
Just fascinating.
on no
I need to
truth.
adjust the camera a little bit.
Don't have a husband. You don't play the drum. Need to borrow money.
So,
Pay this lawyer, Charlie.
Got it.
I'll be eligible for parole.
I'm gonna just check in to see if anybody's commenting on things. So, does anybody think?
and there you go. I will.
All right, I'm gonna just stop on my thing to because of the music. So, I'll just turn music off. Just pausing the stream because of the music. So apparently you can't like listen to music in the background when you're doing this. All right, I think I'm going to, well, I'm doing a little more work over here. So I'm about ready to switch up and start working on this hand with the pistol, I think. Before I do that,
Cool. Back to Clint Eastwood. So, Fistful of Dollars. So, this guy, Eric Fleming from Rawhide, turns down this show or a movie from Sergio Leone. Richard Harrison suggested.
the Sergio Leone or Sergio Leone? How is there
Leone.
Leone? Is that the right? Is that the correct way to pronounce it?
Why Leone would be Italian. Sergio Leone. We call him Sergio Leone. Richard Harrison suggested Clint Eastwood. And Leone, because Harrison knew Eastwood could play a cowboy convincingly, Eastwood thought the film would be an opportunity to escape from his rawhide image. So he was escaping. He signed a contract for $15,000 in wages for 11 weeks of work, with a bonus of a Mercedes automobile upon completion. Hilarious. Eastwood later spoke of the transition from television western to a fistful of dollars in rawhide. I did get awfully tired of playing the conventional white hat. The hero who kisses old ladies and dogs and was kind to everybody.
So he was tired of being a good guy.
It was time for him to be an anti-hero. He was instrumental in creating the man with no name. The character is distinctive in his visual style, and although a non-smoker, they insisted Eastwood smoke cigars as an essential ingredient of the mask he was attempting to create for the lone character. So when I was in Italy, I was working with this DP, and we were in Rome, and then we all, the DP, myself, all the creative arts team, I was a stunt coordinator. We went to Italy. We went from Rome to Venice to do location scouting, because we were doing all our exteriors in Venice, Italy. And the DP would smoke these cigars that were the same cigars that Clint Eastwood would smoke in the Sergio Leone movies. And so he would cut them in half, because they were like these really long cigars, and he would cut them in half, and then I'd smoke the cigars. And anyway, man, I could do like maybe half of one, and I would just they were so much full of nicotine or something. But I was a non-smoker too. Man, they were not easy to smoke. They were very harsh. They were just almost black. They were so dark. Yeah, man. A Fistful of Hours proved to be a landmark in the development of the spaghetti westerns, which they were, only depicting a more lawless and desolate world than traditional westerns, which is true, which is amazing about Sergio Leone, challenging American stereotypes of a western hero with a morally ambiguous anti-hero. And that was purposeful. And very cool. The film's success made Eastwood a major star in Italy. He was rehired to star in For a Few Dollars More in 1965 in the second of the trilogy. Through the efforts of the screenwriter Luciano Vincenzoni, the rights For a Few Dollars More and the final film of the trilogy, The Good and the Bad and the Ugly, which they did a series paying for.
Yeah.
You can get the set from a number of galleries. DMS was sent to the right galleries. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Good series. And the trilogy were sold to United Artists for $900,000. Dude, what a steal. What a steal. They probably make, even today, they probably make millions and millions of dollars. They probably made
Yeah, maybe.
millions and millions of dollars a year.
Oh, the live video is
every
stopped.
year.
Hold on a second. The live video is stopped.
Uh-oh.
So let's see what's going on with that. So let me stop the stream here. All right, let's try it again.
Yeah.
All right, so we got cut off somehow through Facebook live stream. Might have been because I have music playing in the background. I wasn't paying attention to the Facebook feed, so I don't know how long it was out. So go on about the Clint Eastwood story.
All right, I'm going to start back at. I'm going to go back a little bit because I don't know where we got cut off. I'm going to start with the Sergio Leone stuff. Pull up here where we are. Let's do this.
Hey, should we open a bottle of wine?
Sure.
Give me a second. I'll bring a couple glasses over.
Awesome sauce. Okay. We are live right now.
So we got a Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, Cabernet. Cabernet sound good?
Sure.
I don't know if we're going to be able to like plug alcohol on a live stream or not, but we're just going to have a glass of wine.
Okay. Shall I open it?
Yeah.
Or you open it?
No, you're going to open it because I got work to do. Somebody's got to work around here, Dave.
Oh, thank God it's not me.
I got to set up the camera a little bit different, so I'm going to work on this pistol and this revolver. So I guess I got to set that up here.
Alrighty. Do,
Here. All right.
do a Highwind and Wine. Go check out Highwind and Wines up in Sonoma. The gallery is full of Evelyn paintings. It's awesome up there. It's a great way to sit, have some wine, have a great ambiance, nice leather couches everywhere. It's an awesome spot. It's great wine. And
Hey, Dave, is the wine great?
it's great. We'll find out a little how much we like it. Actually, we have had a few of these. It is pretty delish. I just don't want us. This is kind of a weird position to be opening wine.
Alright. Get this camera set right now. See how it looks.
Cool. Are you gonna be doing the gun now?
Yeah, I'm gonna focus
Sweet.
on the.
All right, everybody.
I don't think anybody's here yet. All right, here we go. We get some new rubber gloves on.
All right. Gabe gets the dirty glass.
The Dirty Harry glass.
That's right. It's a dirty hairy glass. You like cat hair and Cabernet. Cat hair and Cabernet. That's going to be the name of our show. Highwayman, brought to you by Cat Hair and Cabernet. And dirty. Dirty
Cat hair and Cabernet
Dirty.
Incorporated.
Cheers. Cheers, brother. All right.
It's tasty.
That is.
Man, I love Friday.
I ain't got no job.
Friday, happy hour painting.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch the A-Team when you were a kid?
Heck yeah, I watch the A-Team when
I
I'm
love
a
it when the
kid.
plan comes together.
I love it when I'm playing on the video. I have another sip for the A-Team.
Remember, I was like 5 and my family had a vacation out to California,
Oh yeah, then you could go to Universal Studios and tip over the van.
No, I was like, we went to Disneyland, but I was really hoping to meet Mr. T. Because I knew that he lived in California, and I was like, I'm gonna meet Mr. T. And I never got to meet Mr. T. Still haven't ever met him. Although one time I was at a Brazilian steakhouse and I saw Lou Ferrigno, and I went up, I gave him a. It was like I was there for my birthday,
Nice.
but he didn't come to my birthday party.
All right. We're going to be talking about Clint Eastwood as as Gabe's doing a Clint Eastwood Dirty Harry painting. I think we're moving on to the gun, right? The Magnum.
Yeah, I'm gonna start.
44 Magnum.
Most powerful handgun in the world.
That's
Your
right.
head clean off.
Really, your head clean off. Someone's trying to call Mr. Leonard. Who?
I have no idea.
What dare you try to call me?
All right. So let's just.
All right, we're going to start with the spaghetti westerns.
See the cameras are all set up correctly.
So, like I said before, we're doing a Clint Eastwood Dirty Harry painting. He's about to do this quickest handgun, 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world. So, in 1965, Clint Eastwood had done Rawhide, and he was not happy with his clean cuts, old lady kissing good guy. And Sergio Leone called up and wanted a cowboy, and ended up calling up a guy named Eric Fleming, and he rejected the role. And Eric Fleming probably kicked himself the rest of his life as he watched Clint Eastwood soar.
I kind of don't want to know all the things that passed up that would have been huge for me.
I know, man.
You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's one of the industries where, like, if you pass it up and then it becomes like a big thing, you're gonna know about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think every major movie star has those moments. I think I've read quite a few of them.
All right, let's.
So Eric Fleming passed him up. Sergio Leone gets a call from Richard Harrison, who suggested Clint Eastwood, and Leone wanted to change the image of the cowboy. He got $15,000 for a fistful of dollars, and if he made it to the end, they were going to give him a Mercedes-Benz. I think he was committed. And he started smoking these cigars so that he could be an anti-hero, to help create the mask of the anti-hero. And A Fistful of Dollars was a landmark development for spaghetti westerns. Leone depicted a more lawless and desolate world in the traditional western and challenging American stereotypes of a western hero with a morally ambiguous anti-hero, which he kind of was, which is awesome. And it made him a major star in Italy. He was rehired for a few dollars more, the second of the trilogy. And then through the efforts of screenwriter Luciano Vincenzoni, the rights for a few dollars more and the final film of the trilogy, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, were sold in the United Arts for $900,000 in 1966. Eastwood met producer Dino De Laurentiis in New York and agreed to star in a non-Western 5-part anthology production named La Streghe, The Witches, opposite De Laurentiis' wife, actress Silvana Mangano, which I imagine if we clicked on a picture of her, she's hot. Just gonna say that out loud. Eastwood's 19-minute installment took only a few days to shoot, but his performance did not please the critics. When writing, I know the performance of his was quite so un-Clint-like. Un-Clint-like. It's funny. You go from talking through your teeth, right?
And now they don't want to do anything but do that.
Yeah, exactly. He couldn't get hired because he talked through his teeth too much. His iconic thing, and then and then he does a role where he doesn't talk through his teeth and like, "Wah, be more like Clint."
You're not yourself anymore. What happened?
So then Clint Eastwood later on did work on the third series, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, which we have paid. It's true. And with Eli Wallach, Lee Van Cleef, amazing. Love those guys. Eli Wallach especially. He portrayed a Mexican bandit, Tuco Ramirez. The storyline involved a search for a cache of Confederate gold buried in a cemetery in Spain. I don't think anybody who fought in the Confederate Army ever went to Spain. That's hilarious.
Just gonna go out and leave the faith with that one.
I'm gonna go on and leave a favor though, yeah. During the filming of a scene in which a bridge was blown up, Eastwood urged Wallach to retreat to a hilltop. "I know these things," he said. "Stay as far away from the special effects and explosives as you can." Minutes later, confusion among the crew over the word "via" resulted in a premature explosion that could have killed Wallach. Wow! Saved his life. Here's what Eastwood said about his character with no name that he perfected. "I wanted to play it with an economy of words and create this whole feeling through attitude and movement. It was just the kind of character I had envisioned for a long time. Keep to the mystery and allude to what happened in the past." You know, there's other actors and characters that have said that before, and directors. "It came about that after the frustration of being rawhide for so long, I felt that the less was said, the stronger he became, and the more he grew in the imagination of the audience." And true, because TV at the time was just all talky stuff.
This is The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Yes, this is.
That's the one thing that struck me with that movie. There's not much dialogue in it. It is moved along by the action and what the characters are doing rather than what they're saying. So yeah, if that was the goal, in my opinion, he pulled it off. It's also something I try to achieve in the paintings that I'm doing, is that to not really get so hung up in technical things and making it look like all the details. What's important is that it has the right feel. That it's communicating an idea that allows you to infer things as a viewer. So I get where it's coming from on that. But then he's got people tell him to be more like Clint Eastwood. I want Clint Eastwood to be more like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody in a suit somewhere.
Yeah. So, back to Clint then. So the Dollar series was not released in the United States until 1967, when Fistful of Dollars opened on January 18th, followed by A Few Dollars More on May 10th, and The Good, the Bad, the Ugly on December 29th. All the films were commercially successful, particularly The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, which eventually earned around $8 million in local earnings and turned Clint Eastwood into a major film star. So 1969, he's a movie star.
So how long had he been acting by then?
So he's almost 40 years old. 69, January 1969.
So that's kind of encouraging, like somebody that's that much of a icon. It took him a couple of decades to make it to where it took him decades.
Yeah. And then even when he did the movies, he had to have seen him and been talking to Sergio Leone for years, and he actually spoke and some Italian, and Clint did, and you know, Ennio Morricone with the soundtrack, and Sergio Leone, and then even then, that was 1965 that he made those deals, and it wasn't until 1969 that he became a big star in the U.S., even though he was a big star in Italy at the time.
Seems like a kind of a common thing for like bands or actors or artists to go abroad and become well known before they become in the U.S. I wonder how common that is.
Well, it's not a bad way to go. I mean, you go to a smaller pond, I guess you could say. You know, Hollywood is like the big pond with all the big fish in it, and you could go to, you know.
I don't think it's even that. I think it's like whenever it sees something blow up somewhere else, it's like when you're dating, like when you're single, nobody wants to touch you. But like then when you are not, like people come out of the woodwork wondering what you're up to. It's like there's some sort of validation, social validation. So if you become successful on another continent, especially for portraying American, as you know, like if he was playing an American character, so somebody else has taken the risk and proved it, and then all of a sudden people come out of the woodwork to want to be part of it. So that's my theory of it. Are we still online? Is it still working?
Yeah.
All right.
Still working?
Still working.
Good. All right, let's keep going with the Clint.
Let's do it.
Another plug brought to you by Highland Wines. Okay. So the critics hated the movies. One critic, Judith Christ, called Fistful of Dollars a cheap jack. Newsweek considered for a few dollars more as excruciatingly dopey. Now Adler in the New York Times said The Good, the Bad, the Ugly was the most expensive, pious, and repellent movie in the history of its peculiar genre. Wow, Renata Adler. Jeez. Time magazine.
Let's look up the critics and see what they're doing now.
I know. The film's wooden acting, especially on the part of Clint Eastwood, though a few critics such as Vincent Canby and Bosley Crowther of the New York Times praised Eastwood's coolness in playing the tall, lonely stranger. Leone's cinematography was widely acclaimed, even by critics who disparaged the acting in the film. Crowther brought more roles for Eastwood. He signed to star in the American revisionist western Hang 'em High in 1968. Okay. Dennis Hopper was in that. Bruce Dern. I remember Hang 'em High. Man, I love Bruce Dern. James McCarthy. Bruce Dern would have already been played with Rooster Cogburn, the Duke, at that time. Playing a man who takes up the marshal's badge and seeks revenge as a lawman after being lynched by vigilantes and left for dead. So he got Hang 'em High in 1968 before the movies came out, or while the movies were coming out. He got $400,000. So he's just getting parts for leads, man. You know, Bruce Dern, who would have acted with the Duke as a not the lead actor, and Bruce doesn't get the lead role. Clint gets the lead role because he was doing lead roles already in Italy. It's $400,000. And 25% of its net box office takings. Wow. Using money earned from the Dollars trilogy, accountant and Eastwood advisor Irving Leonard helped establish Eastwood's own production company, Malpaso Productions. He started that early on. Good for him. Named after El Paso Creek on Eastwood's property in Monterey County. He already had property in Monterey County, California. As recently as a month prior to the film's release, 38-year-old Eastwood was still a relative unknown. In July 1968, syndicated columnist production. Dorothy Manners noted that the proverbial man in the street is still. So the proverbial man in the street is still asking, who's Clint Eastwood? Yeah. Her last name is Leonard. Leonard arranged for Hang 'em High to be a joint production with United Artists. When it opened in 1968, at the largest opening weekend in United Artists history, Hang 'em High was widely praised by critics, including Archer Winston of the New York Post, who described it as a western of quality, courage, danger, and excitement. Before the release of Hang 'em High, Eastwood had already begun working on Coogan's Bluff, about an Arizona deputy sheriff tracking a wanted psychopath criminal down the streets of New York City. He was reunited with Universal Studios after receiving an offer for $1 million, more than double his previous salary. Jennings Lang arranged for Eastwood to meet Don Siegel, a Universal contract director who later became Eastwood's close friend, forming a partnership that would last more than 10 years and produce 5 films. Shootings began in November 1967, but before the script had been finalized, the film was controversial for its portrayal of violence. Coogan's Bluff also became the first collaboration with Argentine composer Lalo Schifrin, who would later compose the jazzy score to several Eastwood films in the 1970s and 80s, including the Dirty Harry films. Yeah, Dirty Harry. He brought out to star, and then he did Paint Your Wagon in 1969. Good Lord, with Lee Marvin. Why did those two? I love Lee Marvin. Why would those two do that? You're a big fan of Lee Marvin too. You've done a Lee Marvin. Dude.
Why would they do that? Hubris.
Hubris. Yeah, hubris. Well, this is 1969, bro. This isn't even. They're not even. Yeah, maybe hubris. I don't know.
No, I don't know. What do I know?
What do we know? Paint Your Wagon? Ugh. I love Lee Marvin.
So at this point, they've had a lot of success in everything they were doing, right?
What's that?
So at this point, by the time they were doing that, they had already had quite a bit of success, right?
No, they're moderate. They're just, yeah, they've had some success and they've been paid quite a bit of money.
So it's kind of like, like why does...
They're just getting going. I think that they're just starting off, man. In a big way. Not Lee Marvin, but Clint Eastwood. He's really just starting to get the big bucks. So he started in 1970 with Shirley MacLaine, gorgeous. In the Western, 2 Mules for Sister Sarah. You've seen that, right?
I don't know. I'm horrible with remembering if I've seen anything about them.
2 Mules for Sister Sarah, Shirley MacLaine. She plays a nun, obviously, that's kind of, who's pretending to be a nun. She's not really a nun.
Yep, that's fine.
Actually a prostitute, Christmas story.
This is the time to give them something else on, but it's only...
All right.
Sip my wine. I need to adjust the camera. So Josh Scott has a question about heavy equipment paintings. I don't have any plans to do any more of them right off the bat, but they're not ruled out either. So I got some other ideas for a series that I'm doing called Grit, which is involving a bunch of things like blue collar workers and that kind of thing. And I did a painting of a oil rig worker before I did that, which was pretty cool. Check that out as well. So yeah, I kind of drilled off there. I don't know. I don't have any immediate plans for any more heavy equipment paintings, but maybe. I did that because where I grew up in Wyoming, that was kind of the main industry, coal mining and whatnot. So I'm gonna do sort of an homage to that. And my dad worked in the oil field, so I did some oil field worker paintings. And that was pretty fun. I think I'll probably revisit it at some point. All right, Dave, you were saying?
Alrighty. Kelly's Heroes. He does Two Meals for Sister Sarah in 1970. So really, 1968, he's just really got his career going. Even though he's making some good money, he's got property in one of the most beautiful places in Monterey, California. And he started his own production company early on. Well, I guess at 40 years old, that's not really early on, right? He's just getting things going. He then did the winter of 1969-70. Eastwood and Siegel began planning this film, The Beguiled, the tale of a wounded Union soldier, Geraldine Page. I don't know that I've ever seen The Beguiled. He kind of plays an emasculated character, which is hard for me to picture him in. I guess I've seen Nature Wagon, so maybe that's not too. Eastwood's career reached a turning point in 1971 before Irving Winter died. He and Eastwood had discussed the idea of Malpaso producing Play Misty for Me, a film that was to give Eastwood an artistic control. He described in his debut as a director. The script was about a jazz disc jockey named Dave Eastwood, who has an casual affair. A listener who had been calling the radio station repeatedly every night, asking him to play her favorite song. When Dave ends the relationship, the unhinged Evelyn becomes a murderous stalker. Filming commenced in Monterey in 1970 and concluded footage at the year's Monterey Jazz Festival. The film was highly acclaimed with critics such as Jay Cox. And the performance directorial skills. Okay, here we go. So I didn't know that was Play Misty for Me was his first directorial debut. 1971, baby. Dirty Harry. Written by Harry and Rita Fink, sitting on the hard edge New York City, later changed to San Francisco, police inspector named Harry Callahan, who's in this painting right here.
Harry Callahan.
He was described as arguably Eastwood's most memorable character, and the film has been credited with inventing the loose cannon cop genre. Author Eric Lichtenfeld argues that Eastwood's role as Dirty Harry establishes the first true archetype of the action film genre. Maybe. Is it? 1971? His lines, quoted above, are regarded by firearms historians such as Gary Jones and Richard Manola as the force that catapulted the ownership of the .44 Magnum, which you're painting right now. Revolvers to new heights in the United States, specifically the Smith & Wesson Model 29 carried by Harry Callahan. Dirty Harry achieved huge success after the release in December 1971, earning $22 million in the United States and Canada alone. It's Siegel's highest grossing film, and the start of a series of films featuring a character called Harry Callahan. Although the number of critics praised his performance in Dirty Harry, such as Jay Cox in the Time magazine, who described him as giving his best performance so far, tense, tough, full of implicit identification with his character. The film was also widely criticized by being fascistic.
I don't know what that means.
Fascistic. Well, the Italians like to call rail fascism all the time. It's interesting that they use the word fascistic. Oh, here we go. It's something about James Bond. Sean Connery announced that he wasn't going to do James Bond. Eastwood was offered the role, but turned it down because he believed the character should be played by an English actor. True story. He starred in the loner western Joe Kidd. So here you go. Another a movie you turned down, right? He could have played.
I don't think he missed out on anything by turning down James Bond.
Nothing but money.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's hurting. I'd be surprised if he's kicking himself about that one.
No, he's not. So now he's 43 years old. 1973. Eastwood gets to direct his first Western, High Plains Drifter. Great film. Love the movie. High Plains Drifter. A moral and supernatural theme. It emulated The Pale Rider, and later emulated in Pale Rider. Yeah, Pale Rider, also a good film. So, it was described as a revisionist history.
And what all movies are, basically.
Yeah. Yep. So there we go. I mean, early on in his career, he's become a star in 1968, 1969 in America. And by 1971, he does Dirty Harry, changing and inventing the archetype, the loose cannon cop, but also starting the action hero, which was kind of like the anti-hero. The loose cannon cop. You're a loose cannon, Callahan. Awesome. You're fascistic. You're fascistic, Callahan. We also should note, which I've said before, and it doesn't say it here, shame on you, Wikipedia and Google machine, but John Milius wrote a lot of the best lines in that movie. So there you go.
Well, I guess we'll have to fill in the blanks.
Fill in the blanks for you. Man, 1974, he does with George Kennedy, great actor. If you ever want to watch some good films, George Kennedy, amazing. Jeff Bridges was in Thunderbolt and Lightfoot with Clint Eastwood back in the day, and George Kennedy. Yep. Cool Hand Luke, George Kennedy plays an awesome role in that film. Yep. Wow, Bridges overshadowed him because he won got nominated for an Academy Award in, I did not know that. Jeff Bridges got a nomination for Academy Award in Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. He did do a good job in that movie, but I did not know that he got nominated.
Pay attention, Dave.
So in 1975, he's 45 years old. He does the Eiger Sanction. That's awesome, man. It was a spy novel that got made into a movie, and he plays a Jonathan Hemlock in a role originally intended for Paul Newman, an assassin turned college art professor who decides to return to his former profession for one last sanction in return for a rare Pissarro painting. In the process, he must climb the north face of the Eiger in Switzerland under perilous conditions. Mike Hoover taught Eastwood how to climb, and during several weeks of preparation at Yosemite in the summer of 1974, before filming commenced in Grindelwald, Switzerland, on August 12, 1974. Despite prior warnings about the perils of the Eiger, the film crew suffered a number of accidents, including one fatality. Despite the danger, he spent 6 months doing all his own climbing and stunts. Upon release in 1975, the Eiger sanction was marginally successful commercially, receiving only $14.2 million for box office. And received with mixed reviews. Joy Goldboy of the Wall Street Journal dismissed the film as brutal fantasy. Eastwood blamed Universal Studios for the film's poor promotion and turned his back on them to make an agreement with Warner Brothers through Frank Wells that lasted him to the present day. Wow. Here we go, 1976, the year of your birth and mine. Clint Eastwood did The Outlaw Josie Wells. Do you remember watching that for the first time?
No. I'm sure back and watch a lot of these.
Yeah, there's some great lines in The Outlaw Josie Wells. He makes there's two monologues or speeches between him and Iron Bear. Iron Bear. There's also some awesome one-liners, man. That gets into a little bit of the history, I think, of Bloody Bill, which you did a painting of, right?
I did a painting that's kind of loosely based on his
Story.
on the character. Yeah, well, a lot of the stuff I started when I first was doing the Outlaws were based on historical sort of references and imaginations of what those characters are like.
Ooh, that paint's coming together, man. I love that hand. It's pretty awesome. Dirty Harry. So Alejandro said one painting of the Wild Bunch would be very
I
cool.
did a lot much painting.
Yes, you did.
I'll post it sometime
I
soon.
think he's thinking of the movie
Which
The Wild Bunch.
Oh yeah,
You did
I did the actual help.
the actual Wild Bunch, the historical picture of the Wild Bunch.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And they're, I think, what's his name? Mel Gibson is trying to get the Wild Bunch a remake made right now. Which would be interesting.
What's Mel Gibson been up to these days?
Mel Gibson. I don't know. Good question. But one of my favorite movies of all time is Apocalypto.
Yeah, that's a great one.
It's a great film. It's always interesting to me how, when you're looking at an image and then, because I choose what to paint to make it look like it, but also give it that oil on canvas, you know.
Yeah, I'm doing the Lord's work, Dave.
I don't know, it's pretty awesome.
It's a pattern recognition, really, and being able to look at something and then sort of memorize it and then transfer it to another surface by understanding what you're looking at. So a lot of it, like especially when I'm looking at art, is the understanding of what you're doing, like understanding the painting, and I understand how it's structured in space. The more I can understand about it, the easier it gets to, gets to painting. So that's basically what I was trying to figure out, like, what is the simplest way to do, what is the way to describe this? And what is it that I'm describing? You don't have to put all the details, you just have to put the right amount of information in the right spot.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easier than others. Like mechanical things have to be mechanical, so it's like sometimes they're kind of hard that way. They're always kind of a challenge to paint for that reason. But the more I know about how the gun is shaped and formed, and the more I know how to do it, I mean, I'll figure out how to paint it.
Sure.
And then it's like, all right, well, what kind of brush strokes work? Like, how do you do this so that the brush work looks good? So that's other things to think about. And the color's got to be, so there's a lot of decisions that have to be made for it to all come together. So how do you do it in a way that's not overly complicated? So I start with shapes, forms, and things, and I work my way out from there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Even with some of the things that you don't choose to put detail in, and then you draw out your eyes drawn to the detail, and so like the Magnum, the 44 Magnum, for instance, your eye will be drawn to the detail in that. Sometimes the gun and the mechanisms and the painting or choosing to put more detail in,
Yeah.
kind of draws your eyes in a little bit. Kind of like if someone walked up with you with holding a 44 Magnum and your eyes would be drawn right to the 44 Magnum.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, it's hard. You don't have to, and it's hard not to sometimes get caught up in surface details. But those aren't usually the most important part of the painting. It's like a certain amount of place that viewer's going to focus on, and you want to keep them focused in that area as much as possible.
Yeah.
So you just have to indicate where everything is at. Because the human mind has a way of filling in the gaps. You don't have to explain everything to people, visually or otherwise. Like, it doesn't have to be overly explained. So. But when you get caught up in the making of a painting, it's hard not to get into doing that.
This was 1971. Incredible.
I'm about to take a break on this.
All right.
I think we live streamed about long enough.
Well, it's been super cool talking to you guys, talking about the history of Clint Eastwood leading up to Dirty Harry, and what brought Dirty Harry to life, and Gage's process, and Highwayman Wines.
Tune in next week when we don't have Clint Eastwood on.
Yeah, exactly.
Clint Eastwood not going to be here next week.
Not going to be here next week.
Tune in.
It'd be cool if he was, though. He's probably hanging out in Monterey.
He's probably sitting by the phone waiting for us to call.
Waiting to turn 90. He'll be 90. Jeez, next year. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think I'm going to call it. Good for now.
It's looking good. More of that. All right. Shut her down.
I'm going to pull the camera up here real quick and see if I can't get a better view of this painting. It's kind of tethered to a few things, but you can kind of see. You turn the focus up to so it focuses automatically. Okay. So this is where it's at today. All right. Gonna get the last shut off. All right. Cool.
I think we only had a couple viewers at a time there.
Well, yeah, when we second stream, I don't know if they got cut off or what happened. I think having the music on fucked it up. But the videos are posted online afterwards too, so they'll be up there for a while. People will be able to check it out.
Yeah, which should be cool.